It feels like every time I tune into Cat's Eye, another member is going on hiatus. First Manon, now it's Sophia. I'm not the type to believe in company curses, but it's hard to ignore what is happening to hype girl groups, considering there was a long period of time where all three groups were missing at least one member. So, what exactly is the issue here? Is it a case of bad management? Are the members being overworked? Or this is just pure coincidence and people are reading too much into things? Going on long hiatuses isn't something rare, especially in the K pop industry. If anything, it's gotten even more frequent, and not just among hype groups. There's a lot of reasons as to why idols go on hiatus, the most common one being health issues, whether mentally or physically. Idol schedules are brutal, to say the least, and most idols, if not all, are overworked. And the only time idols are allowed to get long breaks is when they've reached the point where they physically or mentally cannot keep going anymore. It's a horrible situation, but unfortunately, that is the reality of things. However, the situation with hype groups is a little bit different, mostly because when a hype female idol announces a hiatus, the subject gets way more attention than normal, especially after Manon went on hiatus. Ever since the conglomerate was formed, there's always been a huge discourse regarding how they manage their groups. Most of it has to do with the fact that BTS is under hybe, and they are the biggest group/band in the world, so everyone's eyes are going to be on hybe to see if they can recreate a group of the same scale. It's why every single group, especially female groups, that debuts from any hybe subsidiary label will immediately garner way more attention than if they would if they debuted from even the big three. And if they become popular, then the attention gets even worse. It is a blessing as much as it is a curse. That kind of attention always comes with public scrutiny that the group members are going to severely suffer from. The way female idols from hybe are treated by netizens is honestly horrible. They don't need to do or say anything for people to treat them like public enemy number one. I mean, look at Tweed, for example. One of the members already had her looks dissected on Twitter even before she had debuted. All that just from a single picture posted as a teaser. And when the whole group debuted, people were calling them boring, saying they had no star quality when they hadn't had a single public performance yet. This isn't normal. I am yet to see a group from any other company being treated this harshly, especially at debut. K-pop stans are constantly talking about idols' mental health and about how people should be more empathetic to rookies. But it seems that their empathy and understanding doesn't apply to hype idols. If you see how Katsai get talked about online, you would think that they committed a crime or something. All because Manon went on a weird hiatus, people automatically assumed that the rest of the other Katsai members were evil stepsisters who were bullying Manon and wanted to get her spot in the group. Their characters have been absolutely dragged through the mud, all because of scenarios people made up in their head. They can't have facial expressions on stage or dance with a lot of energy because they'll get accused of trying too much. Lara, an Indian girl, can't get comfortable in her own dark skin because uneducated losers on Twitter will accuse her of tanning her skin because they think she's trying to take Manol's place as the black member of the group. And Sophia, she can't rightfully call out the hate they all get because people get even more mad at her. Like, how dare she get upset that people are being mean to her and making false assumptions about her character? Daniela can't be Latina in peace, and Yoonche is so heavily infantilized that people don't see her as someone who has autonomy. I bet most people don't even remember that she's only 1 year younger than Megan, yet look at how differently they're treated. Considering all that I've just said, Sophia deciding to take a break from group activities to focus on her mental health isn't really that surprising. In fact, I feel like all the Katsai members should take a break at this point. They all need a break from the hate, from the harassment, and from the false rumors. How they're still holding on is still a mystery to me. Obviously, there's still a strong chance that their management isn't managing them well, so they need to take a lot of breaks. But let's not ignore the enormous amounts of hate that those girls have been receiving. Having everything you do get publicly dissected by people who don't see you as someone worth feeling sorry for isn't exactly good for one's mental health. So if you guys are going to hate Katsai, Elite, Les Serafim, and now Tweed, Please do not act surprised when the members keep taking breaks for the sake of their mental health. K-pop fandoms of this generation really have a hard time discerning what counts as actually plagiarism, and I full-heartedly blame Minheejin and Tokis for this. Using hairstyles and clothing pieces as proof of plagiarism isn't something new. The difference is that back then, anyone who tried using that as proof was seen as a crazy, obsessed, parasocial fan who was not to be taken seriously. Back then, it was common to see multiple idols wearing the same top or dress, and it was even seen as a good thing. Fast forward to now, where even having the same hair color is seen as a serious case of plagiarism. And the funniest thing is that they'll show you pictures that were posted only days apart and act like it's concrete proof. Plagiarism is an actual serious issue, especially when it involves matters concerning art and music. So to see it being used as a means for petty fandom wars is honestly disappointing, particularly because people are getting desensitized to plagiarism, so actual serious cases are being met with an underwhelming response. My advice is if you can't imagine yourself presenting the so called proof of plagiarism in actual court, where there will be legal consequences, then don't bother spreading your theories on the internet because you're wasting everyone's time. And I'm not just talking about K pop fans, I'm also talking about full grown producers and CEOs. Because tell me why that YG producer thought it was a smart decision to go online and accuse Tuid's producers of stealing his song, alleging that he had produced it in April of this year. See the influence you've spread, Minheejin? First of all, is he really as stupid as to believe that Tuid's debut song had been recently finalized? Considering he is a part of the industry, he should be aware that normal comebacks take months to be prepared. Full on debuts, on the other hand, take years to be finalized. So, from a logical perspective, Tuid's debut song, Girls, was probably recorded late last year. Second of all, if he was truly concerned about whether they stole his song, the most responsible course of action to do would be to privately, keyword privately, contact Tuid's producers. There was absolutely no need for him to bring all this discourse to the public, especially not when you're going to complain about the amount of attention the matter received. You know, I always thought that only K-pop stans could act that deranged and illogical when it came to K-pop idols, but Minheejin made me realize that maybe the crazy K-pop stan I'm beefing with on Twitter could end up being an actual producer for a K-pop idol, because it turns out that some of them do share the same way of thinking. So, two members of BTS went to a Chris Brown concert, and this time, not even armies can or want to defend them. Everyone, and I mean everyone, knows that Chris Brown is a very problematic person. In fact, calling him problematic is putting it lightly. He is practically a criminal who should be in jail, yet somehow this guy is still on tour. Two members, one of them being the leader of the group, attending one of his concerts, taking pictures with him, and very much enjoying the show, was not a good look. Remember, ARMY is a female dominated fandom, and Chris Brown is an abuser. Those two things do not align. So, of course, ARMYs are going to be disappointed, like really disappointed. But disappointment does not equate to hate. It does not mean that armies want to control what and who BTS listen to. It just means armies wished BTS made better choices. However, the situation has gone off the rails. It's now reached a point where BTS are getting more hate and criticism than Chris Brown himself. Just because some members attended his concert, they are now being called abusers, which is very wrong and very untrue. This one choice the members did might have been morally wrong, but it doesn't erase all the good BTS has done. They are genuinely one of the few good celebrities that actually give back to the community. So the people who are focusing all of the hate on them, rather than the actual criminal, are confusing. 'Cause do you want to hold Chris Brown accountable? Or are you just looking for a reason to hate on BTS? Listening to Chris Brown music or going to his concert doesn't make someone an abuser. Unfortunately, Chris Brown is a huge music icon, and he is also a very talented musician, despite all the horrible things he has done. So, of course, people are going to listen to his music and go to his concerts. And it's not just BTS. So many Western artists still support Chris Brown. Some have recently performed at his concerts. Yet no one judges their character, but the moment it's BTS, then the reaction is more hostile. And let's not even forget that other K-pop idols have publicly voiced their desire to collaborate with Chris Brown and Usher, others calling them their idols. There is absolutely zero doubt that if Chris Brown were to hold a concert in Korea, every single idol will be there for sure. And the reason I know this is because the last time Kanye was there, numerous idols attended. Idols like New Jeans, who at the time were doing whatever they wanted without Adder's permission. Every K-pop fandom, including ARMYs, wish that their idols are these perfect, morally upright people. But the truth is that they are humans, and a part of being human is having a lot of moral challenges and dilemmas. The important thing is that you should be able to learn and grow from them. And lastly, for those of you who were desperately hoping, BTS is not going to disband. Especially not because of something like this. ARMYs might be a bit disappointed, but that doesn't mean they're going to stop supporting BTS. Their relationship with each other is way stronger than them.